Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we are going to be working on doing a little bit of body work to my tailgate. Have a big roll right here. Have a big dent up here. Oh, my bad. Up here. Let me see if I can get a better angle for y'all. Kind of like that. You can see how much of a divot it is there. And then we are going to be disassembling the tailgate so it will be ready for sealer. And I'm also going to be sealing the bed today. So for y'all that don't know what sealer is like a primer, but it is to seal the existing paint and clear coat. So what we'll do is wet sand the bed, wet sand the tailgate, spray the sealer on it, and it will be ready for paint. So I've already got one side of the bed taken apart. We are going to put it all in time lapse, take the handle out and the other latch apart, and get to doing some body work. So I got the tailgate all taken apart. A few things I'm gonna have to replace. So if you can see here, this linkage is how your tailgate opens, and this is straight out. It kind of sticks out at a 90-degree angle right there. And if you come over here and look at this one, it sticks out at like a 70-degree angle, depending on which way you're looking at it. So this one is broken. It does not open and close anymore. So this one's gonna have to be replaced. The next thing that needs to be replaced is actually, I was thinking it was this piece. So the ends of your rods run into the middle of your tailgate. They cross each other, and then you pull your handle, which is over here, and this opens. This actually works completely fine still. I thought this was all one complete unit, but this is actually separate. So the other thing that is broken is the handle right here. As you can tell, this should look like this. It should have that big extension. So I'm gonna have to get a new handle. But the other tailgate, these pieces I think are all good on them. So I'll just take them off that tailgate and use them for this tailgate. So the next thing we need to do is try and fix this big dent here. Don't know how I'm gonna do yet, but we're gonna figure it out. So let's get right to work. Right, so we got one side of the bed done now, or one big dent done. As you can see, it is fairly straight down there, a ton better than it was. I went ahead and went to the other side and made this little jig so I could check myself. And as you can see, right there's about right there is where it should sit. And it is pretty dang good. Maybe a little high right here, but I can fix that later. There is a crack here from whenever it got bent. That will be welded shut. I'll do that here in a little bit. And then I'm gonna grind a good portion of this down. And there's a pretty good sized dip right here. Put body filler on all that, and it should be good to go. I also went ahead, straightened this out. This is where the latch attaches to. I just wanted to straighten that, so hopefully it shuts very nicely whenever we put it on the truck. And then I also went ahead, fixed this corner, just a quick fix. Still gonna need to do a little bit of body work to it, but it was bent completely under. So the next thing we're gonna work on, which I've already shown a little bit of me working on this, but it didn't really do anything, is this dent here. Not really positive what I'm gonna do yet, but I'm thinking I'll be drilling a hole in here and getting a pull and heating it up, pulling it out as good as I can, and then put body filler on it. All right, so I went ahead and got this pulled out as good as I can. I know it's not near perfect, but it's gonna be good enough to put Bondo on. I drilled a few holes here, used the pry bar and the claw hammer, put a screw there, pulled out on it, and that pulled out that dent pretty well. It doesn't look that great, like I was saying a while ago, but once I put a couple layers of Bondo on it, sanding it down will be good. I know some people will be concerned because that Bondo will be on top of the tailgate, but I'm gonna be planning on putting a cover on top of the tailgate anyway, and the bed rails. So that'll be like a diamond plate aluminum cover, and that will cover this up and protect it anyway. So what we need to do next is pull the welder out, fill in those two screw holes, and then on this other dent on the other side, fill in this crack right there, and then there's a small crack forming right there. And then I'm also gonna tack down some of the panel right here. Need to clamp it together and tack it down. So that'll be the next thing. I went ahead and got this thing sanded down, filled in the welds or the holes, welded those full, and I grinded them down with the grinder. Same with over here. Crack is full, welded on the back, welded this little crack that was right here, and then I also welded the panel together under here. I don't know if you can see it or not, and then I welded these corners that connect to the top side of the bottom side of the tailgate. So the next thing we need to do is mix some Bondo together using the same Bondo I had last time, just this body filler. And I got my piece of cardboard out here to mix it on. So that's gonna be the next step. Body filler has been spread now. Everything's looking good. The next step is going to be taking the sander with a 150 grit, sand down the Bondo, and then do it with the 220, get primer on it, and be done with the tailgate. So I went ahead and got everything sanded with 220. It's all looking good. So the next thing I need to do is get the primer, which I'm gonna be using the same stuff I use on my bed, which is this filler and sandable primer. So spray it over the whole thing, and then we will be ready to seal the bed and seal the tailgate. Went ahead and got everything sanded. This is sanded at a 220 grit. All the rock chips are sanded out. That's why there's so many different little spots. The doors are over here. They're sanded and ready for paint. And the tailgate's over here ready for paint. This is where I put primer on it all. I've wiped everything down already with paint thinner. There we go. And I am ready to paint. So I'm going to be using this TGI Pro Light paint gun. Just went out and bought this off of Amazon. I think it was like 70 bucks, but I'm planning on using this kind of gun to paint my metal project from now on, so it'll get its use out of it. I have my little regulator down here on it, and then a water and air a water separator. So I need to mix up the paint and get ready to start laying the sealer. All right, so I went ahead and started painting. I didn't get anything on video just because it's hard for me to record and do this at the same time. But I got the tailgate sealed. It's looking pretty good. I got the passenger side of the bed looking really nice. I'm gonna go back over the top again, the bed rails on top, and then around the bottom and in the wheel fenders. And then I also got the front side of the doors. Got to do the doors again. But I'm gonna try to get some time lapse for y'all now. So I know I said I was gonna show y'all a time lapse. Apparently my phone did not want to start, or I started it and my phone stopped recording because of the heat. So I'm very sorry about that, but I just finished up the truck bed. I'll show y'all that here in a second. But first things first, I want to talk about this GTI Pro Light paint gun. I really enjoyed painting with this. I used, I think 20 to 25 PSIs pushing out of it. Really like the Gravity Flow canister on top. The other paint gun I used to paint my flatbed, I had the one on the bottom, and that one kind of seemed to splatter more. And it was a little bit harder to get around places. But other than that, I'm gonna leave a link in the description to this paint gun on Amazon. Like I said, I think it was like $76, $78, something like that. But it's well worth the price if you're doing a lot of painting, or even painting just something once. It's a lot better than the Harbor Freight, I've heard at least. That's what the videos I've watched said. And that's gonna be a wrap to this video. Thank you all for watching. So just in case I didn't say, I use this Finish One brand gray sealer. And this is, for anyone that doesn't know, sealer goes over old existing paint, especially if it's two different colors like this bed was, where it's blue and white, and I'm not gonna be repainting it blue and white. So putting a sealer down ensures that the base coat is gonna have the same primer behind it, so it looks all the same. So here is the bed. Looks really nice. Coming to the back, got the back done. Got this side done. And then I did the inside right here, and the bottom. This is all gonna be Rhino lined. I'm gonna have a company Rhino line it because I've done Rhino line before. Not a huge fan of doing it myself, so I'm not gonna do it. Like I said, here's the two doors, and here's the tailgate. So everything came out looking really nice. I'm pleased with how it looked. It did use that whole quart for what I did, but you can get that paint at Napa. That's where I got it from. But other than that, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video.